Women demonizing feminism blows my mind. How can you hate yourself so much to believe you don't deserve the same rights and opportunities as men? As a former pick-me and someone who was raised in church culture, because that's kind of what we're discussing, I never thought I hated myself. I hated being a woman or being a girl in the sense that like I didn't get treated the same as boys. And so the way that I conceptualized that in my brain was that all women are like X and men are Y, and I was the exception to the rule. Generally, I find that's what people tend to think, like, oh, all these other women, as a generality, yeah, women are petty and catty and bitchy and hard to work with and over emotional. So I'm going to remove that from my lexicon, from my personality. I'm going to be more like a man. I truly thought like you just had to move away from this and over to here, and that made me different than these. Because this was bad. This was, all the characteristics were bad. So I just needed to be more like a man, more like a man. But what you realize over time is that all the things that men are said that they aren't. And all the things that they said women and girls aren't, because you're walking proof that this isn't you, and these characteristics aren't bad, and these characteristics aren't all positives. But especially in church culture, you are taught that you being a woman is essentially a sin. Like, you are so bad as a human being for being born a woman. And that's just your lot in life because Eve ate an apple and you're paying for her fuck up, her failure, and that's why you get treated different. And I think a lot, especially being born in the generation I was born in, or that we were born in, is you were kind of sold that it's gotten better, right? Like when I was in high school, it's like we have the right to choose. We can get bank accounts. We can live on our own. We can do all of these things. It's so much better than it used to be. You don't have to get married. You don't have to have kids. That's so much better, right? And even now, men specifically, will gaslight you to tell you that the wage gap doesn't exist, that women get hired equally. And then you get out into the world, and the more you experience life and the world, you realize that's not true. Some men will even go as far as to deny the fact, like red pill, deny the fact that it's a patriarchy, deny the fact that men get these benefits, and they'll just gaslight and gaslight and gaslight because they think, truly, like red pill men think that they are actually being pushed down by women, that they are the victims of women. Honestly, a lot of what I believe started to fall apart when I started looking into statistics, when I started looking into history, but that's not what I was sold as a kid. That's not what I was sold as a teenager. And it starts really fucking young. So it's not so much that you hate yourself. Maybe I hate the fact that I was born a woman, but I didn't like inherently hate me. I just wanted to be less of a woman. And not like in a wanting to change my gender or anything like that way, but just like why I was undiagnosed ADHD, right? So why do I have to sit down, cross my legs, look pretty, wear dresses when I just felt like I was going insane in my head? I was always in trouble, always loud, always rambunctious, always too much. And I was just like, anything, like boys could do the same thing I was doing and they wouldn't get in trouble. And you kind of internalize that. And, this concept you're given of woman, of being this whiny, bitchy person, when you start to learn the statistics and the true things that are going on, you automatically get lumped into, you're a whiny, bitchy woman who is a feminist and you're all these horrible things. Like, I used to get so offended when whenever I talked about anything on the internet and men would call me a feminist, I was like, get fucked, I'm not a feminist. I'm not one of these women. And I even had to deconstruct what that meant to be a feminist. Because if you say anything a man doesn't like, he just labels you feminist. You don't conform to standard beauty standards, feminist. And it's always a negative connotation. So if every time you hear men bitching about women, and it's always that feminists are the worst, feminist this and feminist that, and why isn't it enough? You believe that the feminists are the problem. What was eye-opening to me was coming on the internet and talking about my ex in a toxic, abusive relationship, and me saying, hey, this happened, and men being like, no, we want to hear his side. And I was like, what? You guys said you protect and you care about women, and now I'm saying this happened to me and you don't believe me when it happened, right? Like, what's going on? And I didn't understand misogyny, and I didn't understand that they protect women the way that dogs resource guard their food, right? Like, Everything we consume in media has been built to tell us that women are less. There's a Bechdel test. I do this every time now I'm watching a TV show or a movie, and it's wild to watch an entire movie and realize that two women, have a conversation together about anything but liking a man or a boy. Like, the girls don't interact. There's no friendships in majority of movies unless they're discussing boys. And it just centers men so hard, but until you start looking for it, you don't see it because it's so commonplace.